Okay, we should be going. Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, those of you out there, I hope that you guys are sticking with us as we have these technical difficulties. Um, that's the day and age of technology, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing we can do about it, but we really need you guys to be a part of this. So be patient. If you
It should be going. Hopefully, I just went over and checked. My other phone is not charged, so I can't check there. But I did just check on here. Um, and let me check here. Yeah, this is just not working very well today. Justina said that the album is awesome, but that was probably before I had to reconnect.
Well, that's good. Thank you, Justina. This album was written for all the Americans across the country that see a better future for our people. You know what I mean? That see a system that is just and equitable. You know, why are our people being treated so badly? You know, like keeping us uneducated, keeping us untreated. Releasing us in severe poverty, extracting as much money from our families and our friends. This system, it needs to be disrupted, and that's what we are at Defund DOC. We're DOC disruptors. We're trying to disrupt the system, and me and Linda are taking big chances just to get this message out there. You know what I mean? Like, these officers would love to write me major infractions just for communicating and using my freedom of speech. Just for being on this Facebook Live. They could potentially write me up a major infraction or whatever they are. That's how much love and passion we have for you guys out there. You know what I mean? Trying to get this word out there. The censorship in prison is so vicious. It's so evil. You know what I mean? Like, they don't want, us slaves on the plantation to speak to you free world people, those that have a kind heart, to know what's really happening. And so, yeah, I thank you guys for being a part of the movement and conversing and about the struggle. And so hey, Linda, do we have any comments out there? Does anybody got any questions? We would love to answer them.
We kind of had the technical difficulty. We have someone on right now. We don't have too many comments because of it. Trisha said that she was having the worst connection, and then she couldn't find the live, but we reconnected. And then I already told you that Justina said happy Sunday. The album is awesome. That's all we've gotten so far. We do have a viewer or two. It is kind of early on Sunday morning, though, and I would imagine there's a lot of people at church or doing things with their families right now.
Yeah, and I applaud that. This is those of you that are Christians or religious in any fashion, you should be a part of this movement. You know what I mean? This movement is about love. This movement is about justice. This movement is about equity. Fairness. This is not a political movement. And Linda would be the first one to tell you this is nonpartisan. You know what I mean? This is not political. This is not about Republicans or Democrats. This is about one thing, and that's American people. And so don't misconstrue this as belonging to the Democrat Party or to the Republican Party. This is an independent movement. This is a nonpartisan movement. We just know that there's a better path forward, and we want to embrace that. This movement actually was inspired by George Floyd's murder, and George Floyd was murdered by law enforcement, and the system that was above the officers, was a system of hate. And so we wanted to expand that message and use the platform to get systemic change in this country. We deserve it as a people, you know what I mean? And we deserve it as a nation. You know, can you imagine the tax dollars that would increase if we could train everybody in molecular biology or computer science or even rocket engineering while they're in prison? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's use our brains, ladies and gentlemen. Like, why are we not doing this? You know what I'm saying? Like, the only reason. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Justina put a comment on here. It's a little bit long, but it's a pretty good one. She said, how many children, including daughters and sons, have grown up without their parents? I understand that this may not be easy to hear, but it's the reality. Sometimes both parents and children are failed by the system. Prison isn't always the answer when children are growing up without their fathers and mothers. As we approach an election year, it's crucial to read up on criminal justice system reform for each candidate so we can prevent and stop these situations. Imagine those daughters and sons listening to their parents on the phone only to hear at the last minute that they have 1 minute remaining, and then there's silence, and then hashtag daughters movie.
Wow. Justina, you are truly the gangster day. I appreciate you sharing that. That is 100% wisdom.
We've got Teresa. We've got Teresa on with us from Wisconsin that we did the podcast with,
okay.
And she says, "Thank you for speaking out and doing all you do."
Oh, thank you so much, Teresa. We love you. Thank you for what you do. You guys are the ones doing this, man. So this is a grassroots, you know what I mean, thing. And you know, it's not going to be easy. You know what I'm saying? We got a whole population that has been misguided. You know, thinking that this is the only way to go forward, and it's evil. You know. So thank you, and you know, I appreciate you addressing that and bringing attention to the injustices over there in Wisconsin. Wampah is man, that place is. I'm only over here in Washington, but I feel the cloud of darkness over there, you know, in Wisconsin. And same with Missouri. Missouri has a very, very dark cloud over there. Louisiana, I mean, goodness gracious, ladies and gentlemen, the Colorado, I mean, just feel the darkness and the evilness that are coming from these prisons. It's not from the prisoners. The prisoners are uneducated, untreated, you know what I mean? Poverty, like
the prisoners are like, the prisoners are crying out for help. They just want help.
Yeah, exactly. These prisoners are suffering. And listen, I get it. People commit a crime. They need to be corrected. They need to be rehabilitated. But this is not a system of correction. This is not a system of rehabilitation. This is a system of slavery. Mm-hmm. You know, and when you start from that foundation, everything below it is just evil. You know, and when you separate people for whole life sentences, you know, it's a slow Holocaust. How are you gonna? How is it fair where you're gonna murder somebody with a slow death sentence when they haven't murdered nobody to deserve it? And yet that's happening to millions of our people across the whole country.
Well, even those that did commit murder and end up in prison, like their whole life is taken away. Like, what if they were, you know, how your brain doesn't mature until you're like 25. So they're younger. They don't know yet their whole life is taken for a mistake.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's an absolutely good point. I mean, there is so much brain science. So like I'm a data hungry person, right? So me and Liz the same way. We like to see science behind every rule, behind every practice, and they've actually done science behind this, and the brain does not mature until the age of 25. It's in the prefrontal cortex or not cortex, but the prefrontal lobe of your brain, where maturity and decision making, all that stuff is not formed until around age 25. So here you are giving people full death sentences, slow death sentences for crimes they've committed before age 25.
Yeah, like
which would include me.
Landis. I'm working on Landis's podcast. He's the perfect example of that.
Yeah, we got a podcast coming out with Landis, and he was incarcerated before the age of 25. I mean, the guy that you're looking at right now, me, I was incarcerated before the age of 25. I was given a slow death sentence of 32 years. I didn't kill nobody. I didn't hurt nobody. You know what I mean? There's no sexual deviancy in my case. It was a botched drug deal, a dispute over drug prices, a demand for money back, and the state is murdering me. You know, not only have they murdered me, but they murdered my relationships with my son, my relationships with my brothers, my whole family. I mean, I'll never regain my relationship with my brothers or my siblings. You know what I mean? Like, how do you forgive somebody that I mean, I forgive them, but how do you forget somebody that has forgotten you for decades? You know what I mean? There's no love there. I have no love for them. You know what I mean? I have a like a primal love, maybe perhaps in the deep recesses. But when you forget about people for so long, I mean, the suffering. They don't know that, you know, I've been assaulted, I've been injured, abused, I've been, you know, so much hardship and suffering I've suffered in this 20 years, and they don't know nothing about it, and they don't know about that for millions of Americans across the country, you know. And so, yeah, definitely need everybody to continue to be a part of this movement. We really, really need everybody out there. You that are listening. This is a nonpartisan movement. This is a movement about love, about equity, and so definitely get to be a part of it. You know.
Looks like we've got about 4.5 minutes left. So if there's anybody that would like to ask any questions or anything, go ahead and comment, and I'll read them. But did you want to finish up by talking to the album about the album while I'm watching the comments?
Yeah. So we really need everybody to help. So everybody listens to music. Everybody gets this stuff. I mean, why would you not get this album? You know what I mean? Like, get it for yourself. Share it with other people. Give it to other people. You know what I mean? Like, give it as a gift to somebody that doesn't understand the movement. We'll give it to them. You know, that's the thing with music. It like goes into your soul, and you start learning. Like, there's power. There's diamonds in these songs. You know what I mean? When I'm speaking about children of the incarcerated, when I'm talking about when we're having songs about, you know, the brother's keeper or whatnot, these songs are diamonds. You know, these songs will give your people, your family, your community the knowledge to speak out against the injustices that are happening, but also just on a regular musical level. This is good music, ladies and gentlemen. This is good music. There's a lot of time and effort has went into this. It costs us quite a bit of money to produce it. So we need you guys to buy it, because if you don't, man, I don't know how much longer we can go on without, you know, I mean, this album selling. I mean,
yeah, I was just gonna say, like, the money that we make from this album goes right back into all of our efforts. And without people buying the album, I'm like I'm getting tapped out here. So it helps us to keep everything going.
Yeah, I see you getting emotional. I feel that. I feel the heartache and pain. Ladies and gentlemen, we have spent thousands, almost 9,000. How much time have you spent?
Probably more than that. Probably more than that. With everything, I mean, it's insane.
We are almost tapped out, ladies and gentlemen. We need,
and all of what we spend comes, you know, out of my pocket, our pockets. So it definitely helps.
Like, we're having grants. No government wants to help us do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is all coming from our own funds. You know what I mean? Like, this is not easy. This is hard, and we have, you know, we're not asking for nothing for free. We don't want donations. We just want you to buy music that you would buy anyway. You guys are gonna already buy music anyway. You know, so why not buy something that has substance, that has meaning, that's actually really good music too. I mean, Lock and Key Love. I mean, my wife listens to that every day on the way to come visit me. You know, so so we really need your guys' help. I mean, can you imagine what it would do for us for our organization if we were able to sell, 500 albums or even 1,000 albums, like, and it honestly, you guys know it in this day and age that can happen in 1 hour. So help us, man. Help us tell your community. I mean, we're not some big mega corporation asking you to buy our stuff. Like this, like you buy one album, it makes the difference of paying our hosting fees. Like that's how deep it is, So yeah, definitely be a part of it by just contributing in that fashion. Get the album.
I was just gonna say that we've got a couple comments here. John is on, and he wants us to set up a Zoom meeting from his clubhouse to the prison. So I'll talk to him about that. And
absolutely. Well, we love each other.
I was just gonna say, Justina had mentioned that her husband sent the link to his buddies. I'm trying to figure out. Let's see. She said,
we love you. It's gonna cut us off. We love everybody. Thank you so much for being a part of this.
Join us